Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped. Something.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny. I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Okay. So, last time we talked, we did an unburdening with a young part. Does anything come up around that, or how's that been for you?
Can you my brain just gets my brain gets like that, not remembering, but can you go over again?
Yeah.
A little bit of it.
We started with, I believe we were talking about kind of possessiveness. And then we worked with a part, I believe was maybe 6 or 7 years old. And I don't remember exactly the details of what she was struggling with.
Was it about friends, sharing, having friends? And
yeah, that's what we started with.
A few things came up. I don't think it's necessarily about that, but the anxious part of me came out a little bit. I had the weekend off, and sometimes the anxious part comes up when I'm home, and I could kind of feel it Monday still. And, I still continue to put my hand, my heart, and I don't always know what that part wants me to do, but I just try to reaffirm it, let it know that I'm here, and that it's okay and I'm safe, and just try to feed it the positive things. And I know that does help. And I think miraculously it's going to just all go away. And so I do still struggle with the anxious part at times. And, I did do stuff with my daughter and granddaughter a little bit on the weekend too. But so I think it kind of ties around, just that again, being with them and then thinking that they're going to go away or when I don't have them. So it kind of ties again to what we started way back, I think, with the the part that feels abandoned sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And another thing that happened, my daughter's boyfriend called me the other night to see if he could marry my daughter.
Mm.
And it's like, oh my God. For a little bit, like my, when you get that, well, I don't know if you get that, but the anxiety, like I could just feel it in my stomach, like that pit, like, this isn't real. I want to run away.
Oh.
And because it has to tie in with, losing my daughter and all that stuff. But I didn't allow that to take over.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah. And I was like, just so shocked. People don't do that. I didn't think nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
Yeah.
just such a blessing. And he called her father. And he said yes too, but it was so nice. And we went out to eat last night because it was his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And he proposed to her then. I didn't even know he was doing it that night. I mean,
Wow.
then. And I guess he had the ring and we were walking outside. It was snowing. It started snowing. And next thing I know, I see him. He's like on his knee. And so I kind of missed some of it. But my daughter was like, didn't know what to say. And I gave her a hug and him a hug. But I guess what I'm saying, as we say, I guess that my self part was, I think, there instead of letting the anxious part, well, I don't know if it's ruin it or obsessing, the part that can obsess.
Yeah.
So I feel like I was there and I dealt with it all really good.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's a good thing.
Sounds like it.
Not to say those parts don't come out, but they didn't seem as strong, I guess. And I am. It's like I am happy for her. The kids were excited because he's got 2 boys and my daughter's got 2 kids, and
Mm-hmm.
they were just very happy. And I really tried to be there for my daughter. And and there's a little bit of the anxiousness still, the fear, just the stuff that I, was dealing with when I think we first started talking. So it still does come up.
Yeah.
Those parts still come up, but it wasn't as overwhelming, I guess. I guess that's the point I wanted to. So I don't know. So is that is like what IFS does too, right? I mean, it makes, because the parts, like you said, start to trust me, and
Right.
more self is there instead of all the parts coming out at once and
taking over.
Yeah, I wanted to share that, and
Yeah.
a little bit during, the weekend, and now there were times that I felt like I want to compare myself with others, that I'm not doing what they're doing, and so that means I'm not good enough, and so that comes back too. So a lot of parts come back, but it's not as strong. So I don't know if I'm confusing you, but I mean, I can see progress.
Sounds like it.
So I don't know. So I did. I mean, we really had a good time eating out, and for me, the part that wants to feel included felt included. And I think that's why that part felt good too, because I was included.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that would be. Is that that's not like a protective part, or I guess as long as I feel included sometimes, it's okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can figure out what I'm saying, but
yeah,
so I don't
I'm taking notes.
necessarily think that's a bad part. I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think there are any bad parts, but
Oh, that's right. No bad parts is right.
yeah, and earlier you said something about anxiety, and then kind of having this desire, for it to go away, for them to go away, and I guess I would just remind that part that none of the parts are going to go away. I think that's kind of our instinct, is to try to make these parts go away our whole lives. And all we can do is lock them up. And then they fester and they get angrier and burst out. But yeah, I don't think of IFS or any model as like eliminating any parts, eliminating anxiety, eliminating anger, or anything like that. Like those parts are in you, and they're going to come up. And the question is just kind of how are you responding, and how are you attending to them when they do.
So because a lot of things I've read too about IFS and Richard Schwartz, and it's like some people, it's like they don't get the anxiety anymore or the depression. So that's why it's like, well, I do. So, but I think it's less, I can see that it's less, and I am more aware. And so,
send me any resource you see about someone who is free from all anxiety or ever any depression or depressive kind of parts or thoughts. I don't know. And I'm being genuine. Like, I don't know that that's a thing. It's not, I haven't come across that.
All right. I think I did send you something on him. I could be wrong, but he does have one that he talks about anxiety and I think depression. I'll have to look at it again. And I'll, can it be sent on where we communicate on that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look for it, but I haven't listened to those as much as I was. So yeah, I mean, and I, as we meditate, it's like I'm trying to, let whatever part needs to come out. And I wasn't getting a big push either way, for what, but that's what I was sharing with just things that happened in between our other time we talked.
Yeah. You did mention, a part that compares with others. It doesn't feel good enough. So, that part may still need more attention. I did pull up the notes that I took from our last conversation, if you want me to give some more context around that.
Sorry to have you do that.
It's okay. It's good. I like going back and thinking about it, although my notes are often hard to decipher. So the 6 or 7 year old part that you worked with, I have notes that say not having what other kids had and felt not as good, not good enough, and feeling worthless and wanting to be so important. And I know that there were parts in you that were kind of pushing that away or calling her, saying that was bratty. But then when you were able to connect with her directly, you mentioned how just beautiful you saw her as. Oh, and I remember when you went back into her time that you talked about how she wanted to kick everyone out and kick them into a room, and lock the door.
Yeah, sometimes that part, just kick them to the curb, kick them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I got a little sad as you were reading that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the feeling worthless. And what I shared before, it's like as long as I'm feeling included and not left out, it's like I can deal with it better.
Yeah.
I don't know what that, and that's not always going to happen. So, but that just came to my mind. If, like tonight, they were going to his aunt's, who's a big controller. But, anyways, I guess she was having a party for him. And, I don't expect to go to everything. But that part that feels left out was coming out a little bit. And sometimes the only things I can do is, acknowledge it and comfort it as best as I can and talk to the part. And that's what we learn to do, right? I mean, that's the things that, you've had me do in between our sessions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's right? I guess. Acknowledge, don't push it away and just a lot of reaffirming it, I guess, is what I can give those parts.
Yeah.
But and that and another part could think, well, they don't like me and I'm part of the family too, and I'm alone. And so I could go there with all those, the part feeling sorry for myself. But yeah, it's funny, as long as most of the time, if I'm even just asked to go, even if I say no, it's like something about that just makes me feel okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still, I think, some work to do with a part that the feeling left out and not important.
Mm-hmm.
I think, anyways. But
okay.
I don't know. I don't know if that's what you're getting from.
Yeah, if you have a part that's, I mean, you can check and see if it needs you. It sounds like it does, and it sounds like your relationship with it is, could be stronger, or that, yeah, you could go there and learn more about it. Worst case scenario, you go there, learn more about it, and it doesn't need anything extra from you,
I feel very sad.
Mm-hmm. So sadness for the part, or sad, or you're feeling the part sadness?
I know when you ask me those questions, it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm feeling sad for myself and that's not the part. Then it's me. I'm feeling sorry for me.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think that's about? What is that sadness communicating to you?
A lonely feeling, an empty.
Mm-hmm.
Another part that's like gets lonely Empty, feel empty.
Mm-hmm.
Again, being, and if I'm not, like I shared, if I'm not included, then I mustn't be okay.
Okay.
So I don't, yeah, I don't right now feel that I'm sad for the part. It's just my
Sounds
own
like you're,
sadness.
yes. And I would hypothesize that is, you're feeling the part sadness. The part is, it's blended with you. And and I could be wrong about that, but that's my guess. So maybe you can just tune in and see where it feels like that comes from in or around your body.
Maybe my throat a little. I can tell you how I felt, the other days, but today it's more of a where I felt, stuff the other days. But I think a little in my throat,
Mm-hmm.
and my head kind of gets full. I always say full, not a headache or that, just like I'm thinking too much. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah. And so as you notice those sensations, how do you feel towards that as you notice it there?
I mean, I've been becoming more curious to see
Mm-hmm.
what's going on.
Great.
And I know I know that, the C's, the eight C's or whatever, and I know I'm becoming more confident doing this work. I do feel that, even though sometimes it may not feel like it, I know.
I mean, I feel like that's happening right as we speak. As we speak, you're becoming more curious and confident about looking at this part.
Even though it seems to come back.
Mm-hmm. So let it know that you're curious about it. That you really want to understand this part that gets sad around being left out.
It's like I'm telling it, I just want to love this part.
You just want to love it?
Yeah, I just want to.
Yeah.
Just, like embrace it, just to love it. And
yeah.
So I don't know if it's feeling like it still needs a lot more love.
Well, let's find out. Ask it what it needs or what it wants you to know.
That it still gets sad.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I can act brave, it still can be sad.
Mm-hmm. Are you okay with it showing you more about that now?
Yeah.
Okay, let it know that. And then just let it know you really want to understand what that sadness is about, where that comes from, what it's like for it.
It's like I can hear something saying like nobody wants me.
Mm-hmm.
Again, going back to just not feeling wanted.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. And how long has it felt that way?
I was little.
Yeah,
16.
just check. Is there a specific kind of time or age or?
Just give me a minute. I know I
Sure.
don't want you to think I'm I don't know if I'm really getting anything. I think in my mind, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, it's not when I was in the hospital. Well, that's when it was sometime, but it seems to be more. What did we say? 8 or 9? That.
Yeah. Okay. Figure it out part to step back. There's a part that says nobody wants me. See if you can tune in just you in that part. And it doesn't have to answer the questions. I have questions that are just, I'm reading from a list. They could be completely irrelevant. And you can disregard my questions and go wherever you need to go with this part. The part that says nobody wants me. Just let it know you really want to understand it.
I just got a flash again about stuff that I talked about before about not getting picked for things and others did, and just feeling like something was wrong.
Yeah.
And I know I shared this before, but thought of my brother just came up about, picking on me that I was adopted. And
yeah.
just picking on me all the time.
Yeah. What was that like for that part? Just ask it to show you or tell you more about that.
I can just see it crying.
Mm-hmm.
So mad.
Mm-hmm.
So mad at my brother. Just not, kept bugging me and wouldn't give me what I wanted. If I'd call the house and I think that part just felt like he wasn't punished for it. But I don't remember if he was or not, but
Mm-hmm.
just mad at him. I think I
Yeah.
told you I broke a mirror over his knee, a little hand mirror over his knee one day.
Wow.
I was so mad. He just wouldn't leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
I broke the. He brings that up still. You know, I had to do something with my anger, and
Yeah.
I broke the mirror
And
on his knee. I don't know if I got him.
at that age, that was all this part knew to do. Didn't feel like it had any other resources or options.
And just yelling, you know, I can picture, you know, that part just yelling at him.
Yeah.
Like,
and how are you feeling towards the part as you learn all this about it? As it shows you this stuff again?
I feel bad for that part again.
Yeah.
I just kind of feel sorry for it that it's like I just wanted it to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that part was getting attention, it wasn't a good attention.
Right. And are you able to see this part, or are you just sensing it?
I think I can see like a little girl, just a little, and I can sense it too. It's like I feel like I'm there, I guess.
Great. And how close do you feel like you are to her?
I don't know if it must be close because it's like I can just feel those things happening.
Mm-hmm.
Just.
Well, if it feels right, you know, just kind of keep inviting her closer, or, you know, if she's turned away from you, you can position yourself, or just, you know, whatever feels right for you to just deepen your access, connect with her more.
I don't feel like she's turned away from me or that. Like I said, I feel like I'm right there with her.
Yeah. And does she see you? Does she recognize you?
Again, I got that, like, you're here. A lot of times she said, you're here, or finally.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's been waiting, right? She's feels alone a lot.
Yeah. It's like I just want to yell at my brother. And I saw him the other day when I was walking again. This time he stopped. Sometimes he goes right by me. And my dog was kind of barking at him. And she doesn't usually do that to people. He said, see, I taught her right. You know, I was nagging him back, like picking on him, but it's like she barks at other dogs, but she doesn't kind of growl at people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny, like.
Yeah, I wonder if your dog has a connection with this part.
I don't know, but I just thought of that. And I can feel it's like my throat now.
Yeah.
It's like my throat, but yeah, it's like I think she just tried so hard to defend herself, and I'm sure, you know, she did. She fought back the best she knew, and
yeah,
you know, and then calling me names, and I'm sure I gave it back to them too.
Sure. Does she feel like you understand her? Does she feel like you understand her pain?
I don't know.
Is there more she'd like to show you?
because I know when it happens to me today, I can understand. So I don't know if that means I understand.
Do you mean like right now?
When it happens, now
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can understand. But I don't know if that means that I can understand the part.
Yeah,
I
just
just
check
have to say that I'm not sure.
So that's fine. Another way or another question is kind of, does she feel like she trusts you? Does she feel like you really get it? Or is there more that she'd like to show you to help you understand?
For a minute, it's like she said no because you weren't there to protect me.
Right. That's right. That's what
So
happens. We don't have our self energy isn't there when we're children and protectors show up.
and that's what she said no because I wasn't there.
Right. Just let her know that you see that you're sorry, and that you want to be there for her now.
It's like, oh, if it's me or the part, just like feels like I just want to punch him, beat him, just like kick him, beat him up, just
So
let it
maybe
all
now,
out.
maybe now would be a good time for you to go back into that time with her, back in that time when she was having all that difficulty, and be there for her in the way that she needed someone. If she needed someone to defend her, to go back and do that for her. And just check with her with what she needs.
It's like she's asking, can you help me?
Yeah. Can you? Can you go back into her time and help her?
I think I can.
Mm-hmm. She knows what she needs, so just follow her lead. Whatever she's asking, whatever she needed, the person that she needed.
It's like I can see her pulling my arm.
Yeah.
Like, come on, come on.
Yeah.
This is the person.
Yeah.
I do. I kind of feel like I'm right there. It's weird.
It's great. Just go with that. She needs to see that you will protect her, that you can.
I can kind of see my brother just laughing like it's funny.
Yeah.
And it's not funny.
Yeah. So just see yourself. I mean, again, just be the way that she needed someone. She's there, brother's laughing. And what does she need from you?
Protection. Just
Yeah.
because apparently whatever my parents or whoever was there did wasn't stopping it.
Yeah. So are you able to do that? Can you stop it for her?
It's like I can see myself standing like right in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just right there.
And how's she feeling about that?
At first, it's like she was behind me, kind of scared, like hiding behind me. A little scared, which I don't know why.
Because he was scary, right?
That could be.
Yeah.
I am pretty scary sometimes.
Well, I was saying he was scary, but yeah, I mean, maybe it's scary to see. Maybe however you're intervening is scary for her. She doesn't have to witness. But yeah, what did she need someone to do for her then?
Just tell him to stop. It really got me so angry.
Yeah.
That I wasn't.
And so is she seeing you do that?
I think she's still behind me. I don't know if she's afraid that she's going to get yelled at because I'm.
Well, are you telling him to stop?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she's peeking a little.
Yeah, and he's just a child in this scene, right?
He was like 4 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, just stop and listen, listen to me when I talk instead of either bullying me or thinking you're funny. And
right. But you're the adult now in this scene.
Well, I guess that's what I can see myself telling him, to just stop and,
right.
That I needed to be listened to and not bullied and to keep going on and think it's funny.
Yeah. And he might not, you were saying about, where the parents, why, they're not stopping this. And you can't make them do that, but you can be for her what she needed. So if she needed someone to listen to her, then, lecturing this child boy to do it won't work. So telling him to stop, I think, is great, but if she needs someone to listen to her, then that's you. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone else she wants you to talk to, or anything else she wants you to set straight back there?
My cousins came to my mind too, because they would call me some not nice names and I would call them right back to them. Some names too. It was just.
Yeah. And so again, check with her. What does she need? How does she need you to be? How does she need someone to be? And can you show her you doing that?
I like to stand up to them.
Yeah. Are you doing that?
I'm getting there. I can.
Mm-hmm.
Just telling them she's a child and.
Right.
And I'm here to take care of her.
Right. How does she feel seeing you do that?
I don't know if a few things just like popped into my mind. Like, that she was happy. And she said, "Oh, good."
Yeah. Good. What's next? Who's next?
Mm.
Check with her.
Mine was just going to like neighbors. And I don't know if that part wants me to see something. I'm not sure how they were with me, because we had a brother and a sister that lived next door too for a little while on one side, and on the other side was the girl that I got in trouble with, and my mother sent my Christmas gift back.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why that came to my mind, because I'm not seeing anything that they did. It's just pictures of people that lived around us are coming into my mind like flashes. But I'm not sensing anything bad from them. But people that I didn't remember, it's like, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and maybe there wasn't something necessarily bad or hostile from them, but maybe there's still something that she wanted you to say or do with them. For example, if there's a parent or a neighbor or something who's not listening, who's not paying attention while she's being bullied, well, you might say that person's not doing anything bad to her, but she might want you to speak with them too, about that. So there's all kinds of connections that she might be making, ways that she needed someone.
I don't sense that about them. I right now anyways, I'm not getting that.
Okay.
That they were there when it was happening or anything.
Sure, just check with her. Just keep checking with her. It's her experience. It's her burden and pain that she's been carrying. To see if there's anyone else she wants you to talk to.
It's weird. It's like my mind's like fluttering or something from one, like it's going through the whole neighborhood. Like I'm right there and it's going through the whole neighborhood and remembering who lived there and who was there. But it's not anything bad. It is good. It's like,
you're
like
checking
I'm
it all
right
out.
there.
Mm-hmm. Checking it all out for her.
Yeah, I'm going through everything. It's really weird.
Yeah. And they are all connected. I mean, all our neighbors, and, takes a village. You can't have it, everyone's kind of complicit in each other's, homes when they're that close in what's going on, whether it's because they're active in it or because they're not active in it. We hear our neighbors and we know something about them. So
Yeah, it just was, it felt like I was right there, like just going, it was just so it felt really different this time. It was like I was right there.
Yeah. Is there anything else that she wants you to do for her or with her back there?
I heard make it stop. And that's what I'm there to do, to protect her and make her feel safe. Let her know she's safe.
Yeah. And after you do that, of course, we'll invite her to out of that time and to come be with you. But if there is anyone else, anything else specific that she was dealing with back then that she wants to see you make stop, make sure that you do that.
And if I, at this time, if I don't sense anything else or she's not showing me, is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, and she might be not showing you because there isn't anything else. She might be not showing you because now's not the time. I don't know. The only reason I'm wanting to make sure that you do all that you can, and why this is so important is, we've talked before about caretaking parts, and when you first see this sad part, you want to run and give her a hug, and I think that, which is great, but if we don't witness what they went through, and if we don't show them another way, like those steps are so important to really help them release it and help them feel like they can trust us and that we've really seen their pain and tried to show them how we would rather it have been for them. Then if we're skipping those steps, and I'm not saying you are, I'm just saying then it's kind of just a band-aid over wounds that still need to be healed.
Well, I didn't run and hug her. It's like,
yeah.
And I do remember that's what I did. And this time, though, I felt like I was right there. It was
you're doing it.
Strange this time. And I know I've done it before, but there's times I don't, but it's like I could feel myself like right there.
Mm-hmm.
That is very
and this is the first time, we've been through a couple unburdening processes, but this is the first time, for example, that you were dealing directly with your brother. I don't think that's come up before. So you could have the same part that, again, has more things come up and needs you to kind of go back and set straight and work, just show her how you would do things differently if you were there.
My mother came up, but I don't know if the part, I guess she was angry at her mother because feeling like they didn't do enough, or but I can just I can see that part, just crying and very, like I shared before, just
she's upset about that.
This little kid is just
So is there something she would like to see you say or do with her mother?
just different things are coming in my mind. The thought of she just wanted her mother to, I guess, take her side and just believe her, I guess. And
Mm-hmm. And how was she like to send that message to her mother? Like through you helping write a note, through, is there some way that you can send that message?
even like talking to my mother is the same, right?
Yeah, if you're doing that.
Yeah. Telling my mother that, she just wanted to be, I guess, listened to, and
Mm-hmm.
how frustrated and angry she was
Mm-hmm.
with somebody just bullying. Well, I say bullying, but just keep picking on me and not giving me who I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted her or my father. And
Yeah. And
and
so
it
is
really,
she,
it hurt.
yeah, and is she seeing you say this to your mother?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah,
Right.
kind of just, it's like I could picture the little me with my pixie haircut they used to give.
And she can see
Yeah.
how powerful you are now, that you can address all these people. And that you can stand up for her.
And I'm standing up for the adult her today too. She seems happy.
Mm-hmm. And just let her know you want to keep doing that for her. And that she can come to you. Is there anyone else she wants you to talk to?
I did ask that, and it's like she's saying, not right now.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting.
Sure.
So I feel like I'm getting a headache. I don't know if it's from,
Okay.
just looking at all that and
It's a
feeling like I
lot.
was
It's a lot.
right there.
Yeah. It's a lot. Well, do you want to invite her out of that time and bring her into the present with you?
Yeah, I think she's ready this time for now,
Okay.
anyways.
Yeah. Go ahead and do that. Bring her into the present. Bring her to the fantasy place or with you.
It's like we're going shopping, I guess, to get a pretty dress for her.
Yes. Whatever she wants.
Don't know why she wanted that, but just shopping for a pretty dress.
Mm-hmm.
She seems okay.
Okay. I know you said you have a headache or getting a headache, and we don't have to keep going. There is kind of that other step of asking her, where she's carrying any pain, any burden in her body, and helping her let that. Okay. I'll say it again. Yes. Well, I'm wanting to not give you any more of a headache, so we don't have to continue, but there is kind of that additional step, if you want, of asking her where she feels carries that pain or that burden in her body, and asking how she would like to give it up to light, wind, fire, earth, and helping her do that.
Can we give it like to the ocean, the water, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, go do that with her and tell her to just get it all out. Any of those feelings of not being wanted or being bullied or not being listened to.
I guess she feels a little lighter.
Great.
Now it's like she's saying, what are we going to do now?
And how do you respond to that?
I don't know. I didn't. I'm like, oh, she doesn't want to stop. Like, I'm tired.
She's got a lot of energy, doesn't she?
I guess she has more than I thought.
Yeah.
I lost mine. Oh.
Well,
Ice cream came to my mind. So,
yes, a pretty dress, ice cream. Why not?
just
Sounds awesome.
Just like walk around like she knows she's a beautiful little girl.
Right, right.
And no one's going to touch her.
That's right.
Nice. It feels good. Oh.
Okay.
Time just flies. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I really appreciate that, and I just want to thank you for sharing all that and for going there. I'll ask you how it went next time we talk, and so that's usually the only other thing that I try to do after these kind of unburdenings is just ask, how to stay connected to the part, how to make it so that she feels at home with you tomorrow and next week and forever. So that can be a lifelong process, but it's also something that you can, just think about and ask her about. But
it's a lot of what we talked about, like, right? Just putting my hand on that spot and
sure,
talking with the part and
and
being there. And
yeah, and kind of seeing each part as separate when they are. Is this part different from the 5-year-old part that we helped with the cast? And if so, just recognizing that these are different parts. They're like different people, and they have different needs. They have different wants, and so so each part might have a different way that it wants to stay in touch with you, and it's just something you can work out with them.
Okay. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm not going to do it the right way. That perfectionist part needs to go away.
Yeah, as long as you're listening to the parts, they'll tell you how to do it the right way. And if it's not right now, well, you can do it another time. It's fine.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Now you can go get warm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I may have to turn my heat on tonight. I can't even see. Yeah. You have a good night. You too, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Good night. Bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.